Hello, it is Wednesday, October 18th, 2023. I'm Chris Primo, and welcome back to the New York Times Crossword Daily Solve. It is a Wednesday crossword today, so a midweek, mid-difficulty puzzle with a theme. And this themed midweek, mid-difficulty edition of the Daily Solve has been brought to us by David Innes, Josh Lucas, Alex, and as always, the indomitable Showmaster and the incredible Horan family. So thank you so much to the five of them. They are benefactors of the Daily Solve Patreon campaign, and thus they are among the people keeping this channel going and sustaining this series. I'm very grateful to them for that, as I am to all of the patrons of the channel. Thanks if you're among that group. If you'd like to be, you can head over to patreon.com/dailysolve or click the link in the description field, and there you can find all of the bonus videos available to patrons and the official mug for benefactors. So thank you again to all of the patrons. I really do appreciate it. And thanks as well if you've survived the channel. Sorry if you can hear some drilling in the background. That is going to be going on, and I can't do anything about that. I apologize. Hope it's not coming through too strongly. Anyway, thanks if you've subscribed to the YouTube channel, and do consider doing so if you haven't. It is a big help. And finally, there is the Daily Solve Discord server, the official Discord chat server, which you can join via the description field as well. All right, so let's get on to the crossword. This is the second crossword by Joseph Gangi. It's a Wednesday crossword, so it is a themed edition, and it was edited, as always, by Will Shorts. Let's start solving, see what's in store for us today. Rent in the garment district. Okay, well, you look at this and you think you pay rent to live in a flat in the garment district in New York, for instance, but it's not capitalized, so that's probably not the case. And I think what this probably means is rent as in torn, maybe, as in a sort of rip in some clothing. That's what I suggest. That's what I suspect this is. So this could be rip in 3 letters. Let's see if we can confirm that. Garbage. I mean, it could be rotten in the sense that you could describe something as garbage as an adjective, but let's keep looking and see. Straightened out. What did I think this was? From rip. Straightened out. Ironed out, as in clothing or a problem. Like hair and seas. Like some hair and seas. Rolling? No, you wouldn't say that. What would seas be? I don't know. But I like rip here. Let's try rotten and see if we can make that work. Oh, this doesn't actually look very good, does it? Maybe it's rubbish. No, that doesn't fit either. Okay. The Great Depression, for one, that would be an era of history, I suppose. And, oh, right, here's a theme clue. Ladies and gentlemen, you are about to witness something extraordinary that has never been seen or attempted before. Go to 34 down. Okay, so I wonder if we're going, and I just realized are we going to be pulling a rabbit out of a hat? Because this sounds like magician's patter, and I just realized the grid is sort of an unusual pattern, and we have these black cells in the middle that look like an upturned top hat, and they're symmetrical about a vertical axis, which is unusual. Usually we'd have rotational symmetry in the crossword, but today we have this vertical symmetry. So that often means the grid is important. Often when that happens, it means what's illustrated in the grid is specifically important to the theme. It doesn't always mean that, but often it does. And I suspect it does today. I bet we're going to be pulling a rabbit out of a hat. Oh, visual representation of this puzzle's trick. Is this going to be the word rabbit? Because it's being pulled out of the hat? I bet it is. Anyway, let's keep looking. I don't know what this is just yet. Get out of a tangle, to unsnag or to unwind or to... What was this again? Garbage. Unit of doubt, so to speak. The seed of doubt. That could be a sort of unit, an amount of doubt you might have. Name seen going down the drain could be eddy. So an eddy is a whirlpool. Garbage. Oh, refuse. Refuse would be garbage. So that is rubbish or trash. Like some hair and seas. Parted. Oh, right. As in the parting of the Red Sea, and then you could have a part in your hair. All right, good. So that's that. To get out of a tangle is to untie, I suppose. And considerable as a sum would be a tidy sum. You could refer to an amount of money as a tidy sum, fair amount. Hunger for could be ache for. You ache for something, you really want it. And ladies and gentlemen, you're about to witness something extraordinary that has never been seen or summoned before. For the first time, yes, I bet that's right. That sounds like the sort of thing a magician might say, which I do think is going to be the theme. Chopping tool would be an axe. You could chop down a tree. Oh, no, it isn't. A hoe? Isn't to sort of chop up soil? Because tuna type is probably ahi. Ooh, I'm very sorry about that noise. I wish I could do something about it. Chopping tool, maybe it is a hoe. Get in a twist. Hell of a poem. In Dante's Inferno from the Divine Comedy. Amount on an invoice is tax maybe, or VAT? Amount on an invoice. A sum? I don't think so. We had sum and a clue. That would be sort of surprising. Overfamiliar in a way. Hospital sections. ORs or ERs for operating rooms or emergency rooms, maybe. James of Jazz, Etta James, the great singer. A fee is an amount on an invoice, maybe. Hospital sections, ERs. This could be true. Overfamiliar in a way. I'm not sure. Get in a twist is to contort. And a chopping tool was a hoe, after all. Okay, there we go. Overfamiliar in a way is... not sure. And visual representation of this puzzle's trick. Oh, it's okay. It's not rabbit. It isn't. So what is it actually? I don't know. Should I be following these? Maybe I should. So this for the first time says go to 34 down. You will experience a great and unexpected surprise. Yeah, I'm not sure what that one is. What about this? Charlotte's Web monogram. So this will be initials of a name. I don't remember. Maybe the author? I don't remember who wrote Charlotte's Web. Yoga posture. A yoga posture is an asana. So there's that. Sounds of disapproval are tisks, tisks, or tisk, tisk sound you make that is represented by that word. Grande of pop would be Ariana Grande. And nickname for a young Skywalker. So that's young Darth Vader is Anakin Skywalker, Annie, from Star Wars, the Star Wars prequels. And then foosball apparatus. So a rod. So foosball is the sort of, tabletop representation of football, soccer, football, where you spin little men around a rod. But also football in German is called Fußball, and I wonder if that's where this comes from. So delish. Nom nom, as they say in relatively modern parlance. Brainstorm to come up with ideas is to ideate. And a twisted tangle is a knot. Camila Cabello's Never Be the Same. That looks completely reasonable. Relating to city life is urban. And then a drum type could be a snare drum. To get more, say, is to... To get more is to... What? Wow, the drilling. Oh my goodness. Get more is to... I don't know. Kind of belt. What kind of belt? I don't know. I can't think. Asteroid belt. What kind of belt? Not sure. Patrick on the 1992 Dream Team. So this will be basketball. I know of the basketball player Patrick Ewing because I have a former coworker of the same name who I think he actually changed his first name just to kind of stop being confused online or something. that might be the person. I know there is a Patrick Ewing basketball player, and maybe it's this person. Let's see. Echo effect could be reverb. And participate in an aquatic sport could be to water ski, maybe. Presto is presto. In an instant or something, I'm not quite sure. Back of the neck would be the nape of one's neck. Blank school, this looks like grad school, graduate school. And a divine or digital representation. So an avatar, sure, you could have an avatar of a god or a view online. Groom and board locale. It looks like I was going to say something to do with horses, but no. A pet spa, but in theory a horse, but probably not. Probably a dog or a cat. Okay, presto. It's alive or something? I don't know. Bio and chem students program, perhaps. Pre-med, I see. So you could have a university student who's intending to go to medical school, so they're pre-medical school and they're taking biology and chemistry as preparation. Presto, it's magic. Oh, right, of course, that should have been my first thought. So what is this then, SG? Oh, Pepper and Others. So this is referring to the Beatles album, the Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. So the titular Sgt. Pepper, who has his fictional band in that song of the same name as well. And then here we have, I assume this is simply 2 in Roman numerals, and the answer is 2. But let's check the crosses here. Bird revered by the Maori would be the kiwi, so yeah, famously associated with New Zealand. And to transgress is to sin. A recycle bin on a desktop is an example of an icon on a computer desktop. Oh, this will be abracadabra. The spell is cast, don't blink or you'll miss it. Yes, it is abracadabra. So then, what is this then? Visual representation of this puzzle's trick. Tie bar? Tin bat? I'm amazed I can't see what this is. And what about these? Application. The application of something could be its use. Overfamiliar in a way is, I don't know. Lily Potter, blank Evans. Well, actually, I'm not quite sure who this is, but nay would mean born. So Evans could be this person's maiden name, for instance, and Potter their current name. So does that help me? Oops. Get more, say. Reorder. Aha, there we go. To reorder food, for instance, or I don't know, subscription to something. And overfamiliar in a way. Oh, if you're acting very forward, you're overfamiliar. You're sort of skipping the pleasantries. I see. Okay, that makes sense. Oh, E.B. White. E.B. White is the author of Charlotte's Web. I needed this to remind me. So E.B.W. would be the monogram. And then, oh, it is rabbit, but it's upside down. Because visually it's being pulled out of the hat, inverted. There we go. Okay. So my initial inkling actually turned out to be, I think, pretty much right on the money. I just missed the visual pun here. I should have taken that into account. Okay. Sunfish with colorful gills. I'm not sure. Kind of belt, still not sure about that. Name that translates as people of the standing stone. Oh, I think I've encountered this knowledge before, but I can't remember offhand. I don't know. I can't remember. Declares, avers, or states, maybe. And captain's mate could be the bosun, so the boatswain, but in this sort of elided form, this contracted form. If you're smitten with someone or something, you're into them or it, maybe. And Bible Belt. That's a kind of sort of loosely defined region of the United States. I don't know if that's quite what we're looking for. Let's see. I think belt. A kind of belt. Maybe, I don't know. You will experience a great and unexpected surprise. Go to 48 across. I'm not exactly sure what this is looking for. Miller offering. A miller could. Oh, it could be Miller, the beer, not the profession, but the beer, the brewery. So light beer, and often in commercial contexts, light is spelled in this manner rather than Light. Maybe this is Bible Belt. Let's keep looking around. Vegetarians' demand would be no meat. That's straightforward enough. Sunfish with colorful gills. I'm not quite sure. Rogers co-star in Top Hat. So this is Ginger Rogers, who co-starred famously with Fred Astaire, dancers. I don't know Top Hat, but that's very appropriate because it is abutting a Top Hat illustrated in the grid. Oh, is this the Oneida people? I think it probably is. I'm sure I've encountered this sort of translation before, but yeah, I needed crosses to bring it to mind. So sunfish with colorful gills, red ear? I don't recognize this. Let's see. Kind of belt. Looks like Bible Belt, doesn't it? And then you will experience a great and unexpected surprise. Be amazed. There we go. To bulldoze something, which I think is basically what's going on next door, would be to raise that building. To tell on somebody would be to rat on them, and something could be all too easy. Whoops. Here we have sheltered from the wind, so you're a lee. If you're on the lee side, you're on the sort of sheltered side, and you can use that, it's often used at sea. And then modern initialism when skipping text is TLDR, too long, didn't read. All right, we just have a few clues left. If you're not doing as well, maybe you're iller, you're more ill, more sick. Let's see if that works with the crosses. To stop talking with up could be to clam up. Inter alia is, what does inter alia mean exactly? Is it kind of between the lines effectively? Someone will tell me. Relating to the Indian subcontinent is desi. That's an adjective or noun, I suppose, actually, to use to people from the kind of Indian diaspora. And tailcoat, vest, and bow tie, e.g., are apparel, so clothing. To bet more than somebody else is to raise their bet. And then finally, what a server may serve, an email server may serve emails. So there we have it. That was the Wednesday crossword. And I don't even know if we ended up following the whole chain. So let's do that right now. Ladies and gentlemen, you're about to witness something extraordinary that has never been seen or attempted before. For the first time, be amazed. The spell is cast. Don't blink or you'll miss it. And then here we have the rabbit is pulled out of the hat. And then presto, it's magic. And that's that. that's our trick. A very nice little representation of a very classic magic trick as illustrated in the grid and elaborated with patter throughout the grid. I wonder if we're meant to read both of these, or if they're I can't tell if we're meant to read the sort of clue, then the answer, then the next clue, then the next answer. I think that's probably the case, at least when they're in quotation marks, so not this one. But there we go. That was a very clever theme. We don't get very many of these sort of chains of statements, chains of phrases that run through the grid where you have to follow them. It's kind of fun, especially for an early to midweek crossword, I think. So there we go. That was the Wednesday crossword, and there weren't very many clues to read or comments to read from regarding yesterday's clues. The main one posted by quite a few people, so I will just mention it here without citing an individual person, because many people mentioned it, is that the phrase "on God" is apparently a very common and extremely recent Gen Z phrase. So that explains why I wasn't familiar with it. But yeah, that's what that is. It's a Gen Z expression. And there we have it. That was the Wednesday crossword. That was the Wednesday video. Hope you enjoyed it. I apologize for the drilling. I will be back tomorrow for the Thursday edition of the puzzle, which with some kind of interesting, intricate, ambitious theme. We'll have to find out what it is. Do join me then. But until that point, please do have an excellent remainder of your Wednesday. Take care.